In this video, we are going to be talking about our basic fundamental rights as protected and contained in the Constitution. Our basic fundamental right is contained in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And Chapter 4 contains Section 33 all the way to Section 46 of the Constitution. Right to life is the basic fundamental right upon which every other right stands on. Remember, you have to stay alive to enjoy every other right. Section 34 talks about rights to dignity of human person. It simply talks about the fact that no human should be subjected to a derogatory treatment. While Section 35 talks about rights to personal liberty. Section 36 talks about rights to fair hearing. Like the Latin maxim will say, audio trem partem, meaning hear the two sides of the story. You are entitled to be heard. Section 37 talks about rights to private and family life. You have a right to start a family of your own without being distorted. Section 38 talks about right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. You have a right to belong to any religion you so please, and nobody, and I repeat, nobody has a right to coerce you into believing what he believes in. 39 talks about rights to freedom of expression and the press. You have a right to disseminate information that are true to the general public.
All right.
Section 40, you have a right to freedom of assembly and association. 2-3 people with common goals can come together and form a legal association. Section 41 talks about right to freedom of movement. You have a right to move around and nobody have a right to confiscate your movement. Section 42, rights to freedom from discrimination. Nobody has a right to discriminate you based on your sex, your religion, your tribe, or race. Section 43, you have a right to own immovable property any part of Nigeria. It doesn't matter if you're from the south, from the west, from the north, so long as you're in Nigeria, you have a right to own a property anywhere of your choice. Section 44 talks about compulsory acquisition of property. This is where the Constitution empowers the federal government or state, as the case may be, to take over properties that belong to individual for public interest purpose, though with adequate compensation. 45 talks about restriction on and derogation from fundamental rights. Nobody has a right to trample or breach your basic fundamental rights, including the police and the security agencies, without any valid justified reason. And the last, but definitely not the least, Section 46, which talks about special jurisdiction on our high courts and legal aid. That is, courts that have special jurisdictions to entertain breach of the fundamental rights. These are your basic fundamental rights as contained in the Constitution, which is a must-have for every Nigerian citizen. This video, if you have learned something new, and subscribe to my channel, Luchi Advocate, to learn more. And do well to drop your comments if you have any questions in the comment section, and I'll do my best to respond to them. In our next video, we're going to be doing an in-depth study of these various rights. What are their limitations? Are they absolute? When can they be breached and it won't be deemed to have been deprived of your right to life? Join us in the next video as we talk about the limitations of these rights. When can they be deprived and they won't be deemed to have been breached?